Antigone, a play written by Sophocles, tells the tragic story of a woman who was determined to honor her family and the gods, even at the cost of her own life. Antigone's tragic flaw is her stubborn loyalty to her family, particularly her brother Polyneices. She believes she has a sacred duty to bury her brother, even though she knows she will be killed for doing so. However, in her single-minded pursuit of this duty, she fails to consider how her actions will affect her sister Ismene or her fiance Haemon. Antigone's stubborn loyalty is evident from the very beginning of the play. When King Creon, her uncle, issues a decree that forbids the burial of Polyneices, Antigone is unwavering in her commitment to giving her brother a proper burial. She believes that the laws of the gods are higher than the laws of men, and she is willing to defy Creon's decree in order to fulfill her duty to her brother and the gods. This unwavering determination is both Antigone's greatest strength and her greatest flaw. Antigone's stubborn loyalty blinds her to the potential consequences of her actions. She fails to consider how her defiance of Creon's decree will impact her sister Ismene, who is more cautious and pragmatic. Ismene pleads with Antigone to reconsider and obey Creon's decree, fearing for their safety and the well-being of their family. However, Antigone dismisses Ismene's concerns, believing that her duty to Polyneices and the gods outweighs any personal or familial consequences. Antigone's stubborn loyalty also leads her to disregard the feelings and perspectives of her fiancé Haemon. When Haemon confronts her about the potential consequences of her actions, Antigone remains steadfast in her resolve. She fails to see how her actions may affect her relationship with Haemon, and she dismisses his attempts to reason with her. Antigone's single-minded pursuit of her duty to Polyneices and the gods leaves her isolated and disconnected from those who care about her. Ultimately, Antigone's stubborn loyalty leads to tragedy. Despite her best efforts, she is unable to bury Polyneices before she is caught and sentenced to death by Creon. The consequences of her actions extend beyond her own fate, impacting Ismene, Haemon, and the city of Thebes as a whole. Ismene is left to grapple with the aftermath of Antigone's defiance and the loss of her sister. Haemon, devastated by Antigone's fate, takes his own life in grief and despair. The city of Thebes is left in turmoil, as Creon's harsh decree and the tragic consequences of Antigone's actions spark unrest and rebellion among the citizens. In the end, Antigone's tragic flaw is not only her stubborn loyalty, but also her inability to see beyond her own sense of duty. She is so focused on fulfilling her obligation to her family and the gods that she fails to consider the impact of her actions on those around her. Her single-minded pursuit of her duty ultimately leads to the destruction of her family, her relationship with Haemon, and the stability of the city of Thebes. In conclusion, Antigone's tragic flaw of stubborn loyalty leads to the downfall of herself and those around her. Her unwavering commitment to her duty blinds her to the potential consequences of her actions, and ultimately leads to tragedy and despair. Antigone's story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked loyalty and the importance of considering the broader implications of one's actions.